Chapter 7, Mishnah 4. We learned in the previous Mishnah that if the husband says, "This is your get from today if I die," and he died, the couple is considered divorced from the time that the get was given. This Mishnah now discusses the law that applies to this couple between the time the get is given and the time he dies. If a man gave a get and made it effective today on condition that he dies, his wife may not be alone with him afterward except in the presence of witnesses. This is to ensure that they do not have marital relations together. If they were to have relations, we would suspect that they intended to remarry each other through this action, and a new get would be needed to end this new marriage. In order to prevent this from happening, the rabbis decreed that they should not be alone together. This witness may even be a male Canaanite slave, or even a female Canaanite slave, because people do not engage in marital relations in front of each other, even if the person is of a lower status. An exception to this rule is the wife's own female slave, because she feels very comfortable with her female slave, and she might not be embarrassed to have relations in front of her. Thus, the couple may not be together if the only one present is her own female slave. The Mishnah now deals with a case where the husband says, "This is your get from the time that I am still alive if I die." In such a case, the divorce does not take effect when the get is given, but at the last moment of the husband's life. Here too, the Mishnah discusses the law that applies to them from when the get is given until the husband dies. If the husband made the get effective from the last moment of his life, what is the woman's status during the days between the time the get is given and the moment before he dies? Is she considered married or divorced? Rabbi Yehuda says she is considered a married woman with regard to all matters, since the get does not take effect until just before the husband dies. Therefore, if she cohabits with another man during this time, they are guilty of adultery. The next Tana disagrees. But Rabbi Yossi says during this time period she is divorced and not divorced, i.e., it is unclear if she is divorced or not. This is because at any given moment it is possible that the husband will die a moment from now. This would make the get effective now, the moment before his death. Thus, if she cohabits with another man, they are guilty only of possible adultery, not definite adultery, since it is not definite at the moment they sin that she is really a married woman. Although when the moment passes and he does not die, it becomes clear that she was married at the time they sinned. Rabbi Yossi maintains that this does not change the legal status of the previous moment. A person's status at any given time is based only on what can be known at that time. The future cannot retroactively determine the legal status of the past. Since at any given moment there is no way of knowing what will happen later, her status in the present always remains one of doubt.